Fantastically infatuated with the in-between, the ups, the downs, the curves and the rounds. I bring it to your city or your hometown. I go back in time when the feeling was fine, when funkin' was legal and it wasn't a crime. Party people lined up and down the way, a bigger celebration than your birthday. Funkin' up the neighborhood, I felt the fool 'cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood, funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt the fool 'cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood. And I have seen the world pristine, funk you up in the bushes, funk you down in the trees. Now look around, all the frowns, the yellow, the white, the red and the brown. And keep in mind, it never costs a dime, 'cause funkin' is free, I remember the time. Now look today, the streets are gray, time to take it back to yesterday. Funkin' in the neighborhood, I felt the fool 'cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood, funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt the fool 'cause the funkin' was good. It was good in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood. Funkin' up the neighborhood, I felt fool 'cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood, funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt fool 'cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood, funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt fool 'cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood, funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt fool 'cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood.
We're live.
Hey, we're back. What was the 543?
Welcome to the Underdog Journey. I'm Wes, this guy is David, and between the two of us, one of us might be on time.
That was, let me see, which side are you on?
I'm on that side. You got me.
I got you right?
You got me right.
See. So I'm waiting for time. Yep, I got you. Yeah, that guy was on time.
And so,
This guy was not.
you know what?
I was at Lowe's and Wes is like, dude, we doing this? Oh crap! So I've got family up this week doing the Christmas thing,
Yeah.
and our oven decided it really wanted to battle with us because it'll tell us it's at 350 degrees, but it's not. It's at 208.
Yeah.
So we've been messing pretty hard, and luckily I deep fried the turkey, which came out phenomenal, by the way. I highly recommend that. But so we were going to go buy a new oven, and we're going to talk about that because you guys have heard me rant before about the world of customer service, and I'm getting ready to delve into what I just dealt with. I mean, less than a half hour ago, because literally we came in, I sat here, and he started the show up. So less than a half hour ago, I was standing at the Lowe's to buy a new oven grill thing with the griddle and all that fun jazz. But anyway, and we're gonna go into that in a little bit. But on to more important things. West, what are you drinking tonight?
You know, it's all about priorities on this show. So I am actually drinking. So I got to tell you about my gift I got from my current wife. She got me something that I've always wanted and have never gotten: the BrewDog Advent Calendar.
Nice.
I'm pretty happy that I got this. This is awesome. So for those of you who don't know,
So tell them what's such a big deal about the BrewDog Advent Calendar.
the BrewDog Advent Calendar is there's little. It's hard to see it. There's little perforated cutouts here in the dates. So every day you get a different BrewDog beer leading up to Christmas Advent Calendar. And the thing is this Advent Calendar has beers that you can only get in this. So some of the beers you can only get in this, and I'm super excited. So I'm actually going to save all of the beers from this to drink on this show. So
Nice.
that's pretty. I'm really, really excited about that. So I'm starting out kind of light today, but I've got a variety that I'm gonna go through. I'm actually starting with the Lost Lager from BrewDog. Just again starting real light, and
everybody knows I'm a big fan of lagers, so
yeah. So I have a variety here. I'm actually going to move through them, and when I open a new one, I'll let you know, just so we can go through. But there's some really tasty ones I'm super excited about.
Well, sadly, we don't have a BrewDog up here. I don't have a Hofbrauhaus up here.
No.
The beer scene up here in New York, and I'm sure it's. I've been in the city too. It's not quite up to the level. I would estimate about 10 years behind where Central Ohio is. Everybody up here is still hardcore IPA. We all know the reason why. We've went over on the show in the past. It's the easiest beer to brew.
I think you know the answer to this, David. I think you know
That's what you got your teeth on.
We need to open a brewery.
I think I'm not against it, but
we've had a lot of crazy ideas. I think that might be one of the less crazy ones. I'm just saying.
I don't know. I think writing a sitcom is a great idea.
Writing a sitcom is, that's low-hanging fruit right there.
So here's what we've got on tap for tonight, which is, again, you got to know I've made a bit of a switch over to bourbons, and I got a scotch over there, too, that snuck its way in.
Okay.
And you and I were talking on Sunday evening, and I drank many, many, many bourbons.
A few.
Which is also where I came with I had a great idea. Do you want
to talk about it, or do you want to save that for
save that for the day?
Okay.
But then I tried that scotch afterwards, and I got to tell you, I much prefer the bourbons. So I've got the Willet.
Ooh.
It's the Still Pot.
Nice.
Which is actually a pretty good bourbon. So we're gonna be putting that one. Yeah, I do like it. It is a cool looking bottle. The bourbon itself is pretty good. We're going to do a pretty good staple here of Buffalo Trace.
Yeah, nice.
So I mean, it's this is a good smelling. That's a good smelling.
That's good
bourbon.
stuff. Yeah, Buffalo Trace. It's where it's at, man.
But the same brewer as Buffalo Trace. We're sticking with the same brewery, but different name here, or distillery, I guess.
Right.
Not a brewery. Is the Eagle Rare.
Ooh, again, that's a tasty one.
That's where we're starting tonight.
Good job.
Is with Eagle Rare. And then on tap, I keep in my little bottle here, this is the blackened. So
that
as you can see,
good stuff. That's the collaboration with Metallica.
Yep, that's the collaboration with Metallica. So that's the one. That's the one that took the honor of going into my decanting set, and that stays out and is right there. But tonight we're starting with the Eagle Rare.
That's cool.
And if you're up here in Central New York, there's a place called the TIS Cigar Shop down the street here, and I bought 2 bottles of this.
Uh-huh.
I bought one for me to bring home and drink. As you can see, I have done that part, and I buy one that I leave at the cigar lounge for communal.
Yeah.
That anybody who comes in, they're like, "What you got back there?" They're allowed to take that bottle in the back, pour himself a little sip of it, sit back and enjoy a delicious bourbon and a cigar of high quality, such as the Hiram.
Nice. That's awesome. That's awesome. So I didn't even notice. I'm also wearing my Brewdog T-shirt. So apparently I'm in the Brewdog kind of mood here. But
Brewdog,
David, before we get too far, my current wife is down here to help me share the news. But I want to announce an addition to the Underdog family that this is breaking to the internet here. I think I need to. I got some big news I need to announce.
You've got my attention.
Okay.
If you're doing
the current wife decided we need to get a cat.
There's a delay between, and I can't see your screen, so I have no idea what's going on. Oh my Lord!
I'm sharing it on Skype.
Okay, there it is. Oh, you're sharing. Where are you? Oh, there you are.
So,
well, I can get rid of this.
My wife decided that we needed a cat.
You needed a cat.
So that is our new addition to the family.
What's the cat's name?
The cat's name is Roxy. We adopted her from Colony Cats in Dublin, Ohio. So shout out to Colony Cats. We got a great addition to the family. And David, I know you're not necessarily a cat person, but anytime you want to come over, hang out with the cat, feel free.
Okay. So does this cat walk into a room and see you, hang its head in disappointment, and go look for your wife?
Not yet. Not quite to the level of my dog yet, but eventually, I'm sure it's going to happen.
Excellent.
My wife is a dog whisperer. She's one of those people.
There we go. So you got a cat. Well, that's good. How are the kids taking it?
The kids will not stay out of that cat's face. As you can imagine, a 6 and a 4-year-old will not. Luckily, it's a good cat, because any other cat would have swiped my kids' faces off by now. But they will not stay off of that cat.
Okay.
But before we actually get started with the main meat of the show, I want to talk just briefly about some really cool gifts that came through this year. So again, I got to bring up my number one gift, my Brewdog Advent Calendar. I'm super excited about that. We know a guy who gets one of those every year, and he always rubs it in my face, and I'm always jealous.
Well, we also know a guy who got one last year and was terribly disappointed with it because I think they had some non-alcoholic beers last year.
Right.
And one of our friends was not pleased with that. Wait a minute, I paid for hooch. Give me hooch.
Right. So this one has no non-alcoholic beers. It does have one hard seltzer though, so I'm a little skeptical about that. We'll see how that goes.
Well, I'm not judging
you. Shannon Black says we have a sequel channel coming up, the Underdog Journey. Shannon, you might not be too far off. So here's another.
That's a sitcom we keep talking about.
Yeah, there you go. So one of my all-time favorite companies. My sister and brother-in-law sent a gift to my kids from one of my favorite companies, which you can probably guess it, Man Crates.
Oh yeah, we did an opening of them on the show, like on one of our first handful of episodes.
We did, and if this were for me, I would have saved it for this. But this was for my kids, and remember how hard that was to open?
Yeah,
it was the same thing here. They supply this crowbar, and it's not only stapled shut, but it's also hot glued shut. So you need to hammer this thing in there and really just tear this thing apart to get it to open. But this is closed solid.
Did the kids do it themselves, or did you have to help?
Oh, I had to help. I literally needed a hammer just to get the crowbar in there. It was so tightly sealed. But the funny thing is this time it was also sealed within this box, a completely duct taped shut box with no seams to open it.
I'm liking this.
So I had to like basically saw this thing open. But man, they really make it a challenge to open these things.
That's actually kind of fun.
Yeah. My favorite part is this tiny little crowbar is awesome. I love this thing. And you know what? I still hold to something that you said. I really wish that they put a bottle opener on this.
Yeah.
Because if this had a bottle opener, like every guy in the world would want to carry this around.
Yeah.
It's super cool.
Like, you got a crowbar? I have a crowbar.
Right.
You have a bottle opener? Why, yes, I have a bottle opener as well. So I've actually, in the humidor, this is actually humidor you got me last year.
Yeah.
In the humidor, I got the spot up here with the hydrometer. But then I took the other piece and put the bottle opener there. So if I take this box somewhere with me, this sets in there, and I go, and I've got my bottle opener with me wherever I go.
Nice.
So that makes it nice. Then I always have it, as long as I carry it. Then I'm switched over to my travel case for my cigars, but it only holds 4 cigars. So, if you're providing some and doing something like a party or something like that, I just take my big box with me, go have a good old time.
That's awesome. So what were your favorite gifts this year? What did you get?
My wife got me a watch, but unfortunately, these man mittens I have, they prevent me from being able to wear a standard watch, and she had to order 4 more links. I think 4 more links we ordered to put in this on top of the extra 2 that I've already put in it.
Yeah.
So I got a really nice watch, and what's really cool about it, actually, I got it right here.
Yeah, show it. That's a really cool watch.
It's from a company called Original Grain.
Mm-hmm.
It comes in, we'll wrap do-a-jigger here, but it's a nice wooden box. This wood that's on the watch comes from a beer keg.
That's awesome.
This is called the Brewmaster. I mean, come on.
That's you. That's you.
I've been in the bourbon stuff here, but I prefer beer, and more importantly, I prefer Jason's Hefeweizen beer. That is, if I ever find a better beer than that, I'll be shocked. I mean, his Hefeweizen is really good, but this all the wood from the facing and all the ones on the links themselves.
Yeah.
All of these come from beer barrels. So
yeah, that's the deal with the wood. It looks really cool. Yeah.
So hopefully the links get here sometime this week, and I can start wearing this, because I'm, as much as I like my smartwatch, I've got the Samsung blah 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 whatever. And, I've had almost every one of them they've made. Let me rephrase that. I've had every one of them they've made. I really want to just get back to a watch. I want to know what time it is. That one has a date and a date and day on it as well. So I've got it set, which sometimes is a task. It didn't really take me that long. So it's not as bad. It's not as hard to get in line as like a Rolex, and that's not in my futures. I don't have to worry so much. But I got that one set. It's all good.
Yeah, that is a cool watch.
It'll be happy, and it uses what was it we were talking about? Time crystals the other day.
Well, so time crystals. It actually, your watch uses quartz, not necessarily a time crystal. But it's getting there. It's close.
Yes.
So nice lead into the main topic there, talking about the discoveries that happened this year in 2021. So here's the thing. So the main topic is
purely accidental.
Yeah, it actually was. It was good though. So the main topic though is 2021 in retrospective and predictions for 2022. Here's the problem though. When we were coming up with the agenda for this show, the main problem is trying to find stuff to talk about that wasn't like hyper politicized, right? Mm-hmm. Trying to find things that were actually safe to talk about. They wouldn't have half the world, at our throats, and the other half, at their it's everything's politicized. It's nuts.
Yeah, there's no win.
Yeah,
there's no win.
So and beyond that, how could we possibly find topics of anything important to happen this year that wouldn't be like a huge downer, right? So over the last 12 months, there's been plague, there's been practically plagues. There's been political strife, continued social upheavals, vaccine drama, wars, rumors of
like I live in frickin' Egypt. There's been so many plagues lately.
Right. human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together. It's hysteria.
That's Ghostbusters. That's Ghostbusters. In case you guys don't know that, and if you guys didn't know that, we'll see you on the Undercat Journey show because you don't deserve to be on this one.
Right, the Undercat Journey, where instead of drinking beer, we have kombucha, and
nope,
not happening.
I'm just gonna say no to that right now. So, oh crap.
Yeah,
West, you talk. I'll be right back.
He's going to get his kombucha. David has discovered a new hobby. I have no idea what he's going to do, but apparently he's having a party over there. So I thought instead of talking about all the crazier political things that happened this year, we could talk on some achievements that happened this year, because under normal circumstances, some of the scientific things that happened this year would be huge news, that we'd all be talking about. And what do you got there? What's going on?
Remember I talked to you, I actually talked to you guys a little bit about too. I met the gentleman, one of the founders of this company called Karma Water.
Oh yeah, we need to bring them on. That's right.
And I found it, and I've drank most of them I've already bought. And this is the blueberry lemonade.
Ooh, that sounds tasty.
Because you peel off this little doodad here on the top, right there. Let me show you.
So after drinking it, are you feeling more karmically at ease?
Well, yeah, I'm at one mint. So there it is. It's got this little dude. So you see, it's just water. It's according to the ingredients, it's pristine water.
Pristine.
Which, I mean, if your main drink is part of the water is water, I mean, why not get pristine water? But you do this right here. You push it down.
Okay. What do you got?
That's it, and then you just shake it up.
Nice.
And there's your blueberry lemonade. Now
that's a cool concept. I like
this whole bottle has 5 grams of sugar. 5. So, and you would think, sometimes when you get the low amount of sugar, you get that fake taste.
Right, can taste. It's like an aspartame or like artificial sweetener flavor.
Not with this.
Yeah, nice.
It's freaking delicious. Even to the point sometimes I'm like, wow, that could actually dial back the sugar a little bit.
Which we
because
all need.
The way it's done.
Especially after the holidays.
But one of the things here is, it goes into the science of it, of when you're dealing with things like kombucha, the ingredients or the nutritional facts that you see on them aren't necessarily what you're getting, because it's been sealed in this box or this bottle. It could have been there for 3 to 6 months before you get it. So there is degradation to it. So, and this solves the problem of the degradation, so that what you read on here is actually what's there. So this has a lot of the vitamin B's in here, pantothenic acid, which if you guys know what that is, you're smarter than I am. I don't know. I'm just going to drink it. But that's it right here. So it's in, I mean, it's freaking delicious. You can get this at Walmart.
That's awesome. Wow, he's in Walmart. That's actually that's a big achievement.
Yeah, so on that note, when you go to Walmart, I don't pray often, but if I have to go to Walmart, I pray. I pray that God protects me driving through the parking lot, protects my car while I'm inside, and protects my sanity and clear criminal record while I'm inside as well.
Yeah.
Be it employees or the customers. Just
it can be an experience being in there. It's interesting.
Throw the blinders on, go get my whatever it is, the 1 or 2 things that I need, and get out.
Exactly. So
that's it. I just wanted, we are this coming year.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be talking to one of the founders.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be good. Totally. So while you're drinking that healthy Karma water, I will be drinking Hellcat, which is the collaboration between Iron Maiden and BrewDog. So that's going to be tasty. This is what style is this? This is an American Pale Ale. Looking forward to that.
Yeah.
So
I have that right here, don't I?
I think I have a can somewhere.
I think I've had that. I think I've either got it here or it's over in the other fridge. All kinds of getting up and just walking off camera tonight.
It's true. It's we're true professionals. And every
It must be in the other fridge. I'll go get it after the show.
So look at that. Look how clear and crisp that is. That is just. It's a beautiful beer.
That's a good head on there too.
It is, and it's not from Platform Brewery. This is actually a pint glass that you got me, but this is BrewDog's Hellcat, and
that
was worth some. That is tasty. I like it.
Hey man, I got the. I started with the Eagle Rare, so
nice.
It was for some dead air because that's some good stuff right there. All right, so you were in the middle of going over some of the stuff that's happened in 2021.
Yes. So. We're gonna focus more on things that would normally be, big news in a normal year. Like in a normal year, these would be things everybody would talk about. But this year they were swept under the rug because the whole world is bat crap crazy right now. So, I thought you were gonna say something. All right, so here we go. So
I was in rapt attention. What's going to say next?
So I'm gonna run through these and hopefully we at least remember one of these things happening at some point. Okay, so in February, NASA's Perseverance rover landed on Mars, which is a pretty big deal to have a new rover on Mars. But maybe it's kind of old news by now. I don't know. And in April, a small helicopter called Ingenuity became the first aircraft to gain powered flight on another planet. So, we have a helicopter on Mars, and nobody's talking about it. How crazy is that? That's actually a pretty big deal, in my nerdy opinion.
Yeah.
So
sticking with that line of thought.
Yeah.
I started watching a show called Space Force
with Steve Carell.
And
yeah, that was funny.
Boots on the Moon. Now it is a woefully political show.
It is. Yeah, it is.
Aimed to make fun of certain political figures.
Right. It was pretty funny.
But by the end of the first season, which is all there is right now, by the way,
there's only one season. Yeah, it might not be renewed actually.
It says it is, and we'll see it next year.
Maybe,
but we'll have to see how it works out. But it was an entertaining show. It's worth a watch. They're going to have a hard time, and that's probably what's delaying it is rewriting it.
Yeah,
because it. Such a political satire.
It's yeah, exactly.
It's literally a poking fun at certain things, and then now that's gone, they have a little bit of less direction.
Yeah, so. You're right. Some rewrites were probably in order for season 2 of that. But the funny thing is the big joke is boots on the moon. Got to get boots on the moon. But here's the thing. So this isn't next year, but in 2024, NASA is supposed to send actual astronauts back to the moon, which is, again, kind of a big deal. Falls out of the scope of this, but still pretty interesting.
Yeah.
So, again, helicopter on Mars, nobody's talking about it. Nobody cares, apparently. Here's another great one nobody's talking about. I didn't even hear about this until I started doing my research. Also in April, Neuralink, Elon Musk's company, right? Neuralink released a video of a monkey using the company's brain chip to play a video game. And they're planning on doing human trials of this brain chip in 2022. So we have brain chips now that we can use to control digital devices. And
it's like Roblox.
If
you playing Roblox, because all the kids are playing Roblox.
I think it was Pokemon Go.
They let a monkey just run around playing Pokemon Go.
It was just a monkey just spinning this ball and hitting the thing. No, I think it was like Pong or something like that. But here's why it's so amazing. So if you remember, the point of the Neuralink chip is it was going to help people with brain damage to help compensate for the damaged part of the brain. It was going to have inserts to help improve memory. And honestly, within the next 20 to 30 years, I could see us all with something similar. Imagine doing a Matrix and downloading Kung Fu, right? Or downloading a book. Why not?
Yet.
You wouldn't do it?
No, because it'll be a freaking subscription service, and then it'll be an update, and it'll be a patch, and then we'll be in the middle of the road, like driving along, upload, boom, dead.
Yeah, people would just randomly stop, like updating.
Yeah,
updating.
Hi, West. How are you today?
Yep, exactly. Or
actually, there is a Doctor Who. There's a Doctor Who.
There is. Well, that was in 2005. with Christopher Eccleston back when it was actually a really decent show. I remember that one.
Yeah.
But here's another thing. Imagine if it gets hacked.
Yeah. You just walk up to the bitch slap.
Imagine.
Just hack. Oh, sorry. Don't accept a slap from me. I was hacked.
So,
right now, don't open this video or don't accept another friend request from me. I've been hacked. But you walk up to me and bam. Don't get mad about the bitch slap I just gave you. I was hacked.
Right. Yeah. Don't.
I'm in. Let's do this.
Yeah. Sorry about the hardcore pornographic dreams. I was hacked. I mean, no. And imagine like a bored 15-year-old hacking the world and inserting just horrible videos of just some of the most
just a wicked left turn.
Look. I'm telling you. Think about it. I guarantee that's going to happen one day.
Well, yeah, we can only hope.
Well, that took it to a different direction. Okay, let's move on.
We gotta set goals.
Playing video games.
We won't if we don't have goals set.
Playing video games with our brains. Nobody's talking about it. I didn't even know about it myself. Here's a great one. In July, Virgin Galactic's Spaceship Two carried Richard Branson and 5 crewmates into low orbit, experiencing 4 minutes of true, actual weightlessness before returning to Earth. So you always see people on like the vomit comet, or people who go into low orbit, and they're only weightless because the plane is falling at the same speed of gravity, so they feel weightless. No, they actually took Richard Branson and his crew into orbit, into low Earth orbit, where there was lower gravity, so they felt the effects of super low gravity. Yeah. And that's pretty amazing.
Didn't Captain Kirk just do that a couple days ago?
Yeah.
And that was on. It wasn't on Virgin. It was on the other one.
It was Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin, which is the next one here, because literally a week after Richard Branson, literally 1 week later, Blue Origin's New Shepard, which for no reason in particular looked exactly like a giant metal penis.
Why are we not talking about that in the 15-year-old putting it? That's where the implants come from.
Go talk to Bezos about that. I think there might be some Freudian issues happening there. Carried its crew, including Jeff Bezos, along with his brother Mark Bezos, Wally Funk, which is a super cool name because he's funking up the neighborhood, and Oliver Damon into Earth orbit. Funk, by the way, was 82 and Damon was 18, making them both the youngest and the oldest people to travel into space at the same time. I mean, a lot of real interesting things happening. Nobody even knew about it. Ooh, here's a good one, and we talked about this earlier. Okay, in July, scientists used Google's quantum computers, Honeywell's well on their way to doing that, by the way, congratulations, to discover actual existing time crystals. Actual real-time crystals. However, very shortly after they discovered these time crystals,
excellent.
They then promptly traveled back to 1955, where half of them became their own fathers. The other half quickly McFlyed themselves out of existence. So, again, we didn't even hear about it, probably because they made it not happen.
McFlyed themselves out of existence.
That's a thing. That's a thing now.
I like it. So before we move on to the next one, are we going Willet or Buffalo Trace?
What would Marty McFly do? Aside from his mom?
Well, no. See, when you want to talk about something, what would somebody do? I'm always a huge fan. Have you ever seen a movie called Last Boy Scout? It's got Bruce Wayne,
Bruce Willis, Bruce Wayne,
Bruce Willis,
Bruce Wayne,
and Damon Wayne.
Yes,
in it.
Yes.
And Damon Wayans is trying to figure out. He's in a situation, and he's been messing around with Bruce Willis, and Bruce's character's name is Joe in this movie. He's like, well, what would Joe do? He'd shoot everybody and then smoke some cigarettes. So I always say, what would Joe do? He'd shoot everybody and then smoke some cigarettes. So we're gonna go with the Willet.
So by the way, so while you're pouring that, Bradley Moss actually says they're trying. I assume he's talking about the brain chip here from Neuralink. They're actually trying to help them to help blind people see again. And reports are apparently, he says, that it's starting to work. And Jeff Leffingwell says he's still waiting on flying cars. And I'm with it. Look, here's the problem with flying cars.
Yeah.
Here's the problem, though, with flying cars.
What the frig?
Think of all the people who can't drive non-flying cars right now. Now give them wings and see what happens.
Well, I'm just saying, if we stay on the ground and out of the way, the problem will sort itself out.
Fair point. Very true.
So here's the Willet.
Yeah, man, that looks really tasty.
There's the Willet. It's good. I've had it a few times, and it does come through. It's got a lot of good flavors. You can break down in there, which I'm. When you first start drinking bourbon, for anybody that takes up this hobby, don't. But for people, if you decide to not listen to me and do it, when you first start drinking, it's all going to taste like whiskey to you. That's it.
It's true. You got to develop the
burning turpentine.
Yeah, you got to develop the palate for it, which is true with anything, really.
Yeah.
So
Jeff Leffingwell says the metaverse.
Jeff Leffingwell actually brought up the next one, which is the real birth of the metaverse. So not too long ago, as we talked about, Facebook changed their corporate name to Metaverse. However, they happened to do this at a really interesting time when they were facing a ton of controversy within the organization. But they're starting to focus less on just being a social media company and becoming a metaverse company. There are a lot of issues with that, good and bad. That could be a whole other series of shows because there is a lot of baggage to unload there. So take that for what you will. So aside from McFlying themselves out of existence, time crystals were a real thing. Little flashback there. Okay. And here's something else.
That was getting us back on track.
Exactly. So here's a good one, and you're gonna love this because last but not least, as far as really big, super interesting achievements, it was only reported in November, so just not too long ago here, that a group of scientists discovered a brand new form of biological reproduction that had never been anticipated before. They'd never even anticipated. They didn't even think about this happening. So David, you have no idea where I'm going with this. I promise I'll keep it clean. As far as brand new forms of biological reproduction, do you remember?
I don't trust you.
Do you remember a few weeks ago when we were talking about the xenobots? The biological robots.
Yeah.
So this is a real thing. Everybody, if you weren't watching the other episode, you missed out. This is a good one. Biological robots were invented, and these are basically modified frog cells, where they manipulate the genes and the DNA within the cells to perform different actions. They can actually make them form different shapes. They can make those different shapes build upon each other in different ways and actually perform certain functions. So you could actually have a cell-sized robot doing certain things. And this could be used for medical purposes. It could be used for actually new forms of computing and
all right. I'm going to point out the fact that this is literally the plot line of the latest 007 movie.
I didn't even see it. Is that a real thing? Was that in the movie?
It literally is the weapon in the main weapon.
Robots were the weapon in the new James Bond. Spoiler alert, by the way.
Yes. Not a spoiler. If you haven't watched it at this point, it's your fault.
That's true. At this point, it's my own fault. I totally agree. I never get out anymore. I have small children. I never get to do anything anymore. I have a cat now. That's my excuse.
Dave, I can't go do that. I've got a cat.
I got a cat. I can't leave the house now. So here's the thing.
Hey Wes, want to go to Vegas?
I can't. I have a cat. I'm sorry. I can't. Who's gonna feed the cat? So, was it, however, part of the plot of the most recent James Bond movie that the biological robots would unexpectedly and in a brand new way start reproducing?
Well, David, they didn't go into that.
David, Mr. Robots will never take over the Earth. Huh?
Robots will never take over the Earth.
What about biological robots?
Well, that's not that.
I'm just saying. These technically,
what is it when you have the hybrid?
Cyborg?
Cyborgs may take over the planet.
Look.
But robots never will.
Well, look, as far as cyborgs taking over the Earth, we just talked about monkeys with computer chips in their brains playing video games, playing Pokemon Go. What's to stop the cyborg monkeys teaming up with the biological robots, forming an unstoppable army? And that is our 2022 to look forward to. That's my prediction, by the way. Show's over. I'm done.
Oh.
Just like 2020, nobody expected it coming. Look, I said it before, I'll say it again. 2020. Hindsight is 2020. That's what I was trying to say. Hindsight is 2020. I know you love that line, by the way.
Yeah, I love cliches. They're great.
There's nothing cliche about a cyborg monkey playing Pokemon Go and biological robots taking over the world.
No, there's not.
This shit just got weird.
I'm like, wait a minute. I mean, there might be some tie-in to the Planet of the Apes there that we can. But no, I mean, they weren't cyborg monkeys. They were just genetically enhanced monkeys if you go by the latest reboot. But what they were originally, I don't even know. The Charlton Heston series, I don't know who they were, how they got there.
Look.
Or whether you're just on a different planet.
I just have to say it. Look, when you're talking about biological robots reproducing in ways that nobody anticipated, they didn't even think about this happening, and it's happening. Life.
Okay. Wait. No.
Life.
No. Shame on you. I'm talking to my mic now. Shame on you, Mr. Scientist, because there has been a precedent about using amphibious DNA and cells that backfired and killed many people.
Jeff Goldblum, you're right. Jeff Goldblum saw this coming.
Yes.
It's true. Life.
Yes.
Life.
In the documentary Jurassic Park, this happened.
That was a fantastic. Well, they weren't biological robots, but they were amphibious.
Well, they weren't biological robots, but one of the things they did was they spliced the DNA with that of amphibians, and amphibians have this trick about reproduction that is actually science fact, which helps the movie along, which creates the eggs in the wild and yada yada yada. So helps with the the rars and the rubble. Boom! Jeff Goldblum barely survives. I mean, what are you gonna do? Turn the guy into a fly? But they've already done that.
Well, that's true. So the next one is a group of scientists turned Jeff Goldblum into a fly monster.
Nice.
And nobody's talking about it. 2021.
Nobody's talking about it. Did you remember the arm wrestling scene where he breaks that guy's arm and his bones are sticking out? It's awesome.
You're thinking over the top with Sylvester Stallone.
So arm wrestling classic.
That's the one where they cross a human being with a gorilla and end up with Sylvester Stallone. That's called Over the Top. It's actually a pretty decent movie. You got the trucker cap. There you got to turn it around to get your power.
I'm back.
And the sad thing is you knew exactly what I was talking about.
Of course, every red-blooded man should know these things. What are you talking about?
But no, those are some of the things in 2020 most people didn't even hear about. But those are real stories. Like, those are legitimately real stories. So here's the thing. Everybody I think has at least heard the adage that, when you're out in the wilderness, you got to leave the places you go better than you found them, right? Like, that's more than just a Boy Scout thing. I think that's a thing when you go outside, leave the place better than you found it. I'm not sure we can say that about 2021. So here are some of the things that
when you say leave it better than I found it.
Okay.
I actually did pretty good in 2021.
But is the world better at the end of 2021?
When I'm doing well, the world is doing well.
You always say it, and I still never believe it. Where there's a day.
Where there's a day, there's a way.
So here's the thing. Just over the last week, due to being related to the the global sniffles plague of death,
global plague sniffles of death,
and the Transformers variant, the Omicron variant. There have been more than.
I'm telling you right now, that's a meme that needs to be made.
Oh, it's already a thing. That's already a thing.
Oh, okay.
That's already a thing. It just sounds super scary. If you ever recall the Fluffy Bunny variant, people wouldn't be nearly as threatened by it. However, due to concerns because of this variant, just in the U.S. alone, there's been more than 3,000 flights canceled over the last week. Imagine try and travel over the holidays. Crazy. And closer to 7,000 flights globally canceled due to this variant alone. Wow. Like, what a way to end the year there.
So did the variant, not have a ticket, or?
Yeah, Harrison Ford came along after the variant, threw him out the window, he said, "No ticket to the
no ticket,"
and everybody pulled out their ticket. It was a whole thing.
Yeah.
If you're
that's an Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade reference, just in case nobody gets that.
No, that wasn't Last Crusade. That was
yes, it was Last Crusade because he's sitting there with.
It was Last Crusade. You're right. I'm wrong.
Of course, I'm right. You know me to be a very smart person.
Well, no, my first reaction.
Don't you think I'd know it?
Actually, my first reaction is just to tell you you're wrong and then correct you. But this time I told you you're wrong, and then I was like, oh wait, no, he's actually right this time.
That would be you know what? That sounds like a show in the making. Just to see how many movie and televisions, just in case the whole, if I was wrong, don't you think I would know it? That's a Big Bang Theory television show reference. Just to see how many references, movies and TVs wise, we can get in. How many quotes that we can get in one show.
That's true. We should write a sitcom or something.
I'm telling you, it's a moneymaker. Oh no! So I can't. I won't share a screen right now because I know you have a time crunch tonight, and I was late. So pulled up the YouTube today.
Okay.
One of the top. Let me see if it's still. Let me see if it's there because they curate the material for you.
Yeah.
Now, while this is coming up here, let's see here. I got it ready here to talk about it, and I completely forgot which one. Anyway, literally on my feed here, we've talked about this. The decline of Pizza Hut. What happened? There's an 11-minute, 15-second show, video content here from Company Man about what happened to Pizza Hut. Now, I haven't had a chance. I'm going to watch it tonight after everything settles down. Like I said, I got family here and everything. But once everything settles down and everybody's down, for a long winter's nap, I'm watching this because we've talked about it many, many times. And it's an idea that once we have it copyrighted, I definitely want to share with you guys because every one of you guys are like, oh, that's genius. West is over there. He's not quite sold yet.
So David, I don't think I need to watch that video because I know what happened to Pizza Hut, and I'll tell you.
Yes, I know.
It's an easy answer. They didn't avoid the Noid.
Lois and Rick Graham said something about LGB.
Yeah, he's going a little politically incorrect for our show there.
I thought it was a sandwich. What's he talking about? Lois and Rick, actually, it's probably.
I'll explain to you later what the letters LGB stand for. We don't.
I know there's that, but there's like 7 more letters to go along with that when you talk about that. So I don't know what he's talking about here. So I mean, he might be talking about something different. It just has initials. He's really old, so he might not know.
He doesn't know. He doesn't know what all the hip cool kids are doing these days.
What these hip cool kids are doing today. You can't keep up with them all. But here, I actually wanted to share something that our own Wes Carnahan came up with, and I just dropped one on the floor.
Oh, you're not getting in trouble, are you? What are you talking about?
I'm not going to get you in trouble at all. So we have been out and we talked to the founder, one of the founders of C3 Arrow, right?
Yeah.
We were at the Boston Cigar Club when we did this.
And we're going back there for an interview. Yep.
Yep, we're going back there. We're going to do a show from there. But we gave him, I don't know if you guys know this, but we actually have business cards.
Yep.
The Underdog Journey business cards. And everybody we've given this card to has just been amazed about our card design, which came from West over here. And here it is. Right there's the card design. So it's one single card, and you get Wes Carnahan there and on the camera on one direction, but you flip the card over, and now you got mine. And underneath it, it's got David at UnderdogJourney.com. And you got West at UnderdogJourney.com. So we got email address, contacts. We got a QR code on the back. And everybody who's looked at this card has just been amazed by it. So this is something as simple as this. Now, I am I have business cards for my day job.
Right. Because you have to.
If I give out 10 of them in a year, I don't know what happened. I lost 10. Because usually by the time I contact people, I've talked to them on the phone. I've had email correspondence with them for a week or two, sometimes a lot more before I get face-to-face with them. Why in the 9 hells would I give somebody a business card at that point? So I don't typically. So it's only on those spur-of-the-moment, bam, bam, bam. And I'm very reserved. Now, these cards I give out a little easier. But for my business card, my business world, I am very reserved about handing them out because I'm very selective about the customers that I will accept. You have to be. You can't just be somebody who knows, or a technician or somebody. You have to be at least a certain level before I'm gonna be like, here you go, here's a card. Call me anytime, because I'm afraid they're gonna call me, and I don't want somebody calling me for every little thing, man. I need you to be doing your own work.
So we should actually do a show on that. We should do a show on the traditional uses of business cards compared to how you should be using them now, because I think you should be using them now differently from how you'd use them 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Right? Because just like you were saying, you don't want to give them out to everybody. However, we use them for our show because how often are we out doing what we do? And people are like, what's your information? And they don't have their phone handy, or, we'll just be walking by, or, some people will jump up on stage behind us and say, hey, what's your info? What's going on here? Well, it's easier just to pass out a card.
It's live. It's cool. Here, have a card. Go away.
Yeah.
So, these are, some of the people that we talked to this year. This is Common Sense Soap Company. You can find them on commonsensesoapcompany.com. That's SCENTZ, Common Sense Soap Company. I think they have a Facebook. Yeah, they have a Facebook page too. We met these fine folks at Brats and Crafts there in Columbus, Ohio this year. It was a great time. And then if you ever find yourself,
we're in kind of a tangent here, by the way.
It's a Friday night. What's that?
We're in kind of a tangent here, by the way.
This is a kind of a recap of some of the stuff we did this year.
Fair.
And a Friday night, you're having some guests over, and you're like, "Damn it, I forgot to book an accordion for tonight." Well, Ken and Mary, the Turbo Accordions. Again, we met these folks at the Brats and Crafts Festival. Wonderful event we did there with them. Unfortunately, I don't have a card to show for the actual host of the. I do have several of their cups that we still use here daily from the Brats and Crafts Festival. They're great. So when you go there and you get your beer, you get a cup. It's just Brats and Crafts on St. James and all that stuff. And it's a wonderful event, a wonderful thing. I'm glad we got to do it this year. What was your? Let me do it this way. What was your top event this year?
My top event, obviously, I don't got to say it. My top event was the Boston Tea Party.
The Green Dragon.
The Green Dragon in Boston, Massachusetts, to celebrate the anniversary of the Boston Tea Party.
Yeah, that was a big event. That was fun.
That was a lot of fun. I had a lot more fun there than I was expecting to have. I knew it would be a good time, but man, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I wish the audio from the live stream was good. So next time we know to bring a power conditioner so we don't have all the audio issues. But,
well, I think what we'll do is we'll bring a power conditioner and then a dedicated. What we'll do is we'll run three computers.
Yeah.
We'll run one with me, one with you, and then Skype into the one, and all it's doing is handling the transmission out.
Well, again, the audio issues we were having weren't from running from one computer.
That's power.
They were from power, and again, I think all of the electrical lines in that building were actually kite string that were run by Benjamin Franklin and held together by keys. So
yes. So for those of you guys who don't know, Ben Franklin was actually quite old during the Revolutionary War.
It's true. He invented electricity with a key and a kite. People don't know that.
Yes. He didn't. I'm trying to see if I have any other, because I usually try to keep things here. Let's see. We've been to Hofbräu House down in Columbus, so big thanks to them for letting us come and do our stuff from their stage. We were just there a few weeks ago, which is a great time. The Crafty Pint there on 161. We did a couple shows earlier in the year from them. Back before. I mean, that's changed hands and ownership and everything now. So
I don't think the new owners ever opened it. They said they were going to open on December 1st. In a rather inebriated Facebook post. I don't think it ever happened.
Okay. All right. Well, we can hope for the best for them. Let's see. What else have we been to this year? So I think Boston was a really fun trip.
That was a highlight for me.
Actually, I think as far as event shows that we've done, I think the Brats and Crafts was pretty far up there.
Yeah.
The best of, actually not the best of, so that was the best event show. The best thing we've done this year, this is just only my opinion, is the fishing tournament in collaboration with the Real Life Outdoors with Shannon Black.
Yep,
we raised $40-some-hundred or whatever it was for the Easter seals. And he posted on the show on his channel on the Book of Faces earlier this week, last week, and they had a Christmas musical thing that they had done. So, and that was the group that we had helped. So, and he did tag us on it as well.
So we need to start promoting the 2022, the second annual fishing competition, where we absolutely destroy Real Life Outdoors.
Yes, absolutely. We're not going down 2 years in a row. It ain't happening. They're getting the suits and ties.
Exactly.
And I think, because of the time frames that we had, and we didn't go full tilt face paint camo, mainly because we were in a professional business at the Hofbauer House, and I really didn't want to have to answer that. I still think we owe the Real Life Outdoors the full camo, face black hat with the ear flaps and whatever. So I think sometime early 2022, I think we do that show. Make sure we get him on here for it. Kind of touch base with him. It's been a few weeks since a few months actually, but since we've had him on and had a chance to talk with him and kind of see how his channel's doing, see what he's got coming up. Maybe we can talk to him, see what he's got planned for 2022.
Yeah, let's talk to him and talk about his growth and where the plans for his channel are going. Because for those of you who don't know, Shannon Black's channel, Real Life Outdoors Shannon Black on YouTube, has really seen some great growth over the last year. I mean, I'm really impressed. And here's the funny thing. I'm not really a hunter fishing kind of guy. I love the outdoors. But that's just not my world, right? But you're watching his videos, they're actually really entertaining. So even if you're not really into fishing and hunting, like his show is really good.
Yeah, they went, I think they went yesterday or today. They were at fishing somewhere. Apparently they did really well. I seen a post on it, said they were killing them. So I'm hoping that we see a video here soon from him on what they just did this past week. It should be a pretty fun thing. Again, like Wes said, it's even if it's not your bag, baby, it's still a fun time. That was my terrible Austin Powers.
That was terrible Austin Powers. That was awful.
I will work on that. I will work on that. We can do it better.
Yep. That's hilarious.
That's hilarious, Fran.
So back to the main topic, though. So there were all the flights canceled over Christmas. As far as everybody's familiar with the inflation issues going on, here's an article from LinkedIn News. Grocery prices are set to soar in 2022. Grocery prices are expected to rise by at least 5%, with produce, dairy, and packaged foods mostly seeing the highest amount of fluctuation. So let's see. Manufacturers are relating this back to higher wages, shipping and inventory costs, and inflation on top of that. So 2021 is not setting 2022 up for great success. However, here's something interesting. This is actually pretty good news, also from LinkedIn News. Pay rises are coming. So look forward to pay rises. I'll read the whole thing here. American white-collar workers are seeing pay rates rise at a fastest clip in almost 2 decades. Legal and finance sectors are reaping significant gains, in particular, according to federal data.
Yes, because legal and finance sectors were struggling.
Well, private sector wages are increasing by at least 4.6% year over year for the third quarter, and firms are routinely handing out bonuses across the board in as much as 10% or more throughout the end of the year. Hang on, there's more. Hang on a second. But the paid bonus bonanza currently being showered on workers is being mostly absorbed by soaring consumer prices. As inflation hits a 39-year high, wage increases are not only fueling price rises, but are also likely to decimate the real value of wage gains. So that big raise we were talking about is going to be offset by huge inflation. I'm sorry to get your hopes up. 2021 has finished.
the male offspring I have got a job this year, making $13 an hour, and I'm going, holy crap, that's a terrible idea. 7. I was like, you should. I said it earlier today. You should go back in and demand them. You will not take any more than $7 an hour for this job. While if everybody did that, that would actually. I understand there are a lot of people out there that you're like, well, again, I'm not talking about the political side of it. We're not going to get into those weeds. I'm just telling you from a pure business side of it, and the cost of effing bread side of it. It's a bad thing to pay a 17-year-old kid $13 an hour to make pizzas.
Yeah.
Okay. So the current inflation rate year over year, current. Okay. We still have to get data closed from November, and we won't see full data closed in December until sometime. They'll probably close the books sometime mid to late January, and we'll actually get the full impact. 6.8%. Most places where you work will give you a raise of 3 to 5%. So if you get the max rate at 5%, you're taking a 1.6% on cost of goods pay decrease. What beer are you drinking, sir?
Oh, so it's all about priorities on the show. I opened a new BrewDog beer from this, which is the Holy Triple. It is their Belgian-style triple ale.
Oh, what's the percentage?
Smells delicious. Can't wait to try this.
What's the percentage on it?
Percentage on this triple is a mere tiny 9%.
9%.
So not huge. We've had stronger. But
I've still got a couple over there that I'm scared to drink. I've been drinking this stuff, but I shouldn't be scared to drink.
We still need to drink their Death and Glory, by the way. So next time you're back, we need to go to BrewDog and drink that Death or Glory. That's that like 21% beer that I have from them.
Yeah, let's go. Come on, man. Let's get this thing on my freaking. Well, let's see. I'm booked in January, February. I've got some openings in March. April's just right out. So how's your May look?
How's my? Yeah, we'll compare schedules and see how it goes.
Yes, that's time. So anyway, 6.8. Think about that. 6.8 year over year is the current, and it's going to go up. Just in case you guys don't understand, because they haven't closed November and December yet. That number is going higher. Higher. That's your everyday cost. So yes, you may go from X dollar to this dollar, and you may have only had $5 left over at the end of the month, or you may have not actually been making those ends meet, and you were $10 off. Now we're just using round numbers for arbitrary reasons and arbitrary numbers. So don't take any of this stuff to the bank and say, hey, I want to rate. You got to do your own math. Now, because now I'm making twice as much as I made last year, but if everything's costing 3 times as much, guess what? The gap that you had from where you were surviving is now actually larger.
Yep.
You may be making more, but you're not.
Well, because a lot of people don't seem to realize the higher pay increase leads to partially leads to the inflation. Partially. Because here's the thing. Companies aren't going to take the hit on the rest of the inflation. They're not going to pay you more and take the hit of paying out more, make less profit for themselves and their shareholders. That's not how this works. And politics aside, I'm sorry to say, the higher pay is partially leading to this inflation. It's just how it works. It's math.
Absolutely.
Basic math.
But on that right there, so it's the catch-22. And we're going to go through one scenario of it real quick, and we're going to go through another scenario real quick. And again, this is not to be political. It's just to kind of put some paint on the high parts so that you guys might be able to see and go, oh, shit, I never thought of it that way. We all want to do our part in the world. So how do we do that? Well, we have some of our products built somewhere else. Well, they're taking our jobs. Well, that's how we help them. So it's either we're not going to help them and keep jobs here, or we are going to help them, and we have to say, all right, this segment, we're going to hand over some of it overseas. Now, I'm not going to say what country or anything like that. It's a catch-22. You actually have to. We're giving up something to help, because money doesn't solve problems. Productivity does. In this more direct scenario here is we got more dollars. We got $5 for bread now, and bread's $4.29, and well, now we're going to have $10 for bread, and bread's $15.
Right.
And we have so much money. It's basically the number of dollars chasing goods. And when you keep putting out more and more dollars, the price of the goods will catch up to it. So on the other side of that, on the other side of the catch-22 coin, say exactly the same scenario. So let's say we don't want the fat cats, Wall Street, and their stakeholders, those people, those shareholders, they, those rich people and all that, blah, 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 blah. The rich guy. Rubble. So, all right, companies put out new forecasts. They bring it down. Hey, we're going to lower money. All of a sudden, your 401k just took a hell of a hit, because part of that was in this investment block that was part of this form, and it just derated the whole thing, and it brought it all down. Are you going to be okay with your 401k or retirement IRA, your personal investment, or if you have stock in a company, taking a 30% whack?
If your dollar worth less, then all you have saved is also worth less.
Yes.
It's math.
It's math. It's hard to see it all. I've said for a long time, there's no such thing as microeconomics anymore. Maybe, and even I've taken it to the, what's it called, reductio ad absurdum, of a kid on the playground trading Pokemon cards. Did you know that Pokemon is the most valuable brand as far as collectibles, games, franchises, it's like huge. Even the Avengers Marvel and all that, it is more valuable by leaps and bounds.
It's huge.
By billions.
That's why Elon Musk is putting chips in monkeys' brains to play these video games. It's huge.
He's got stock in Pokemon.
It's huge.
And he's playing the cost with monkeys.
He's exactly. Look, he's also training them to develop NFTs that he can then sell and buy and sell for Bitcoin.
Yes.
Right after he shorts Doge and makes a mint.
He shorts Doge, laughs about it on Saturday night, and then boom.
Cyber monkeys everywhere. Playing Pokemon.
Well, I don't know what rabbit hole we got into tonight, but it was fun.
Well, here's the thing. So doom and gloom aside. Honestly, if you really look at the historical patterns of these ups and downs, 2022, I do genuinely believe, is people who are willing to put in the elbow grease is really their chance to shine. Because here's the thing: look at the Great Recession of 2008. Okay,
Until 2028.
Well, no. Look at the Great Recession of 2008. Okay, just a couple of years after 2008. You saw an explosion of innovation in technology. You saw huge companies come out right around 2010, 2 years after the Great Recession of 2008. Because here's the thing, it flows in patterns, okay? So look at it this way. 2020 is the year the world falls apart. 2021 was the year where we all learn how to cope and get used to the new normal. However, a lot of us are still sitting on our hands not doing a single thing. 2022 is the year, again, politics aside, whether you like the results or the reasoning aside. 2022 is the year where you rebuild, where massive innovation is coming, where people who aren't just sitting around collecting a check while they're watching Netflix.
You literally just tell me you're building back better in 2022.
I'm not talking about that because we're not going to mention that. We're not talking about politics. Politics
I'm
aside.
sorry, I had to. You got so close, I had to just give you a little bump over there.
Politics aside, whether you like it or not.
Politics aside.
2022 is the year where people who have not been sitting on their hands for the last 2 years are going to shine. These things they've been working on, and everybody's been laughing at them, saying, this is an idiot idea. Guess what? All these people with these sitcoms that they want to write, this is when they're going to shine. This is when they're going to explode onto the scene. And
Remember this night. You guys are going to be watching. You guys are going to see history made.
So
history is going to be made by the Underdog Journey and Market Tree.
But this is a real thing. So honestly, 2020 advanced the adoption of certain technologies, streaming technologies, our reliance on technology. It advanced this by at least 5 to 10 years. If the crazy events of 2020 had never happened, the adoption of certain technologies would not have been this far as we are now, by at least 5 to 10 years, guaranteed.
Yeah, if somebody would have said,
if
let's say the global police nipples of death did not happen, and somebody goes, "Did you go to the conference?" Well, no, they didn't have a conference. We had a virtual conference.
They would think you're crazy. They're like, "What? What does that even mean?" And 5 people would have showed up.
Webinar for that.
Yeah, and like 5 people would have showed up for the dumb thing. It would have been a huge flop, and whoever planned the thing would have been fired. But now you need it. You actually have companies, and this is something that I think you and I should work on, David. You honestly have companies who specialize in teaching large corporations how to stream, how to create podcasts, how to create video streams, the technology they need, how to set it all up, how to manage it. There are companies dedicated to this sort of thing that we do every single day. But honestly, with the adoption of technology and the innovations that have happened just in the last 2 years as far as technology goes, imagine what is in the works right now and what is right around the corner. I'm telling you, 2022, if you're not sitting on your hands, you're going to do very well in 2022.
Yeah. And, I was talking to the old lady here, and she does pictures and editing and things like that. And she had some medical problems, and I keep talking about, hey, you should do this. You have the experience with photography, you have the experience with the editing, and so on and so forth for it. And she came back and said, well, it's hard. I'm like, you watch our podcast almost every week. What the F do we tell you is the hardest part?
Yeah.
The hardest part is starting.
Yeah.
And if any of you out there have a business idea, and you're at that point where you're like, I don't know how to start. It's just so hard. Call us. Ping us on the Book of Faces thing, the clickety buttons and whatnot.
Here's what you do. You tell us your business idea. You tell us your $1 million idea. We promise we won't take it.
No, you call us up.
I might.
We will give you steps. We will launch it. We will help you launch it, and we will sit there and West might encourage you. I am going to bully you into making it freaking happen.
He does bully you. He is a bully.
I am. I'm a bully for good cause. I don't bully anybody for bad things. It's always good causes. Let's go have a drink. West will only have 1 beer, and then you can leave. At 4 o'clock in the morning as we're dragging each other out of a pub.
Or the definition of peer pressure, by the way.
Yes. So yes, but no. I will absolutely bully you into pushing yourself into greatness and pushing yourself harder and further and doing all the things that you actually want to do and how you want to do them. I won't bully you into doing it my way. I will bully you into doing it your way. But I will not let you not do it.
But honestly,
you got
if you have a business idea, no matter how bad crap crazy, 2022 is going to be a very good year if you're not sitting on your hands.
West, you are not helping me. You are not helping yourself in this battle of the television show.
No, if you can, well, look. You're right. I hate to admit it, but you're right again.
My show idea.
Does anybody? Okay, everybody out there. Has anybody out there ever had an idea that they're like, I should write a sitcom for this, and you start actually doing research, and you realize how hard it is to write a sitcom and actually have it successfully picked up?
I've got it done. Where there's a Dave, there's a way. That's going to be the title, the working title, Way of the Dave.
Tell that to the Dropkick Murphys.
Hey, them little bastards haven't replied back to me, and I'm going to get a hold of them. One of these days, we're going to be in here, and you're going to launch a show. I'm like, hey, I need to share my screen and audio. You're like, what for? I'm like, just do it. I got some pornography to put up on the screen, and we're going to do it, and I'm going to be freaking playing that song, shipping up to Boston, because
there you go.
Eventually, I said I'm going to lie to you and tell you, I'm going to put pornography up here, but no, I want to share. It's going to happen. I'm not going to let them do it. I'm not going to. Hopefully, maybe seeing how we didn't get it for the Green Dragon, maybe we can get it for the Boston Cigar Club. But at any rate, it's going to happen. It's just a matter of working it.
The day that you get shipping up to Boston to be playable on our show as we live stream is the day that I fully admit that I was wrong. You were right, and regardless of how crazy your idea is, I will drop everything and start working on it.
Ladies and gentlemen, prepare to hear West's apology.
Are you going to do this right now?
Very soon. No. I wish I
won't return your phone call, David.
That would have been golden. That would have been golden right there.
Because I won't return your phone call.
Now you've just given me yet another carrot. Another carrot. And I'm like, this horse is going after that. Oh, Lord of mercy. So what are we talking about? We're talking about Apple stock or something?
Well, we're talking about NFTs. We're talking so here 2022 is your year to buy NFTs. You're going to find this technology is great, and I recommend spending your entire life savings on a GIF of a monkey with a hat playing a video game.
I was gonna jump in there with you, but when you went to monkey with a hat, I just
So here's a funny thing. Do you have Paramount Plus, the streaming?
I do.
So on Paramount Plus, South Park actually did a short series. There was the pandemic special. There's the pandemic special, followed by post-COVID 2. And it's hilarious.
Say that.
Oh well, I'm talking about South Park, so I blame the South Park guys. But no, if you have Paramount Plus, go watch these 3 episodes. They're like an hour long each. They're like a movie each. But man, they touch on every single meme and crazy idea that happened over the last 2 years. You got to watch these. It's hilarious, and it stays out of politics. It doesn't talk about who is right, who is wrong. Stays out of it, and it still makes it so perfect. It's perfect.
All right. I've seen him on there. I haven't watched it yet, but I will go on there. So Jeff Lethingwell come up here and said there will be less brick and mortar stores, and we talked about this.
Yes,
I think he's right, but we will see new brick and mortar stores, and then we will see a resurgence of not a resurgent. I think that's a completely different word. Resurgence of some old name brick and mortar stores, because Lowe's, you've had the whole episode. I've dodged it. I'm coming. All right. You guys have heard me go on a flat rip roaring tear on customer service.
By the way, we're on the clock here. You got to make it.
I know you got time here. I'm keeping a clock up here. Alexa, set a timer for 7 minutes.
Alexa.
No.
By the way, Alexa is mentioned in the South Park special. Perfect. You got to watch it.
Lovely. You got to do that. So, where are we talking about? We're talking about NFTs with monkeys.
Talking about Lowe's customer service.
No, Lowe's customer service. So we're talking about the brick and mortar stores. For everybody out there, and for the millions of people who tune in to watch our show, first of all, thank you. Click the like and subscribe and the ping and the ding dong and the bell
and the whole thing.
Do all that because that's what we're supposed to tell you to do. We don't really go over it every show because you guys, if you're wanting to launch a podcast, you should really know to do that. That's kind of everybody else goes over that. So anyway, I see the post that Jeff just threw up here. But back at it. But the brick and mortar stores, customer service, and the personalized customer service is what will win in 2022. That is my flat out prediction, my flat out projection, and not just 2022. 2022 through the end of the decade.
Mm-hmm.
That's where, if you are thinking about doing some kind of a business, a brick and mortar, a physical location business, that's what you need to have. You need to have twice as many employees as you think you need. Mm-hmm. Your margins, yes, they're not going to be as big as you want, but your price should be up. You should be elevating yourself up. Because guess what? I can just go, if I don't care about that, I'm just going to Amazon anyway.
Right.
And even Amazon thinking about building a freaking brick and mortar locations, which we've talked about on the podcast in the past.
Yeah, and we do a whole show just on that. You brought up Amazon. Look, as far as brick and mortar goes, follow the money and look at what the money is doing, not what they're saying. Amazon is not talking about building brick and mortar locations for Amazon alone. They've already bought. Whole Foods. They bought a couple others. They bought brick and mortar locations. Amazon already has brick and mortar locations.
Yeah, so that's exactly it. That's for the people. That's one of the points I want to make there and really point out and highlight is Amazon is already brick and mortar. They already have that platform, and you don't go to Whole Foods to get cheap product. You go to Whole Foods to get high-end, grass-fed, 100% grade A plus USDA massage. They don't do Wagyu because it doesn't conform to their ethical treatment of the animals, which, whatever. I'll get it from Japan. But you can go get higher quality product.
Well, so you go to Whole Foods because of a premium product and a premium service provided. Premium product and a premium service provided. So David, you and I actually have a business idea. We'll keep it on the down low for now that we're working on, which is actually a hybrid of the digital services with the brick and mortar locations. So in the future, this might not even be a 2022 thing. This might be a 2024 thing, which is people are going to expect a hybrid, a unity between the two. They want a flawless combination of ordering it and here,
seamless,
being able to do it here seamlessly, flawlessly. At the same time, they're getting good service. Now, we should do a whole show on just customer service because since a lot of companies are having a problem hiring good employees because of a number of different things, politics aside, look, no matter where you are, customer service is dead right now. You get almost terrible service almost everywhere you go. It's awful trying to have anything done.
It's sad that we've gotten to the point where when we find good customer service, we're blown away. We're not blown away by great customer service because we don't know what the frig it is. We haven't seen it in a decade.
Yeah, we're blown away by any mediocre customer service. But here's the thing:
when we get passable customer service, we're just fluxumed.
That's right. Now imagine a company that had flawless execution between the digital, the brick and mortar, and has excellent customer service to boot. They're going to win. People will come to expect.
We got 2 minutes. We're going to address a question. Does Dave shop at Whole Foods? Well, not now because there's not one freaking here. But before, so I used to walk into Whole Foods with my wife. My wife's a hippie, and not really a hippie, but kinda. And we'd walk in, and she'd be like, "Well, you don't have to go in with me." I'm like, it's all right. They got a decent beer selection. I get to make fun of hippies. And I'm passing people walking out, and they're cracking up listen to me. And I go in. You talk about people watching. It is Walmart on a different level. It is literally Walmart, just on a different plane of existence. It is the multiverse of Walmarts.
Yeah.
Now, to Lowe's, because we only got 1 minute. We're going to wrap this up. So I go in because my stove and oven is playing absolute havoc with me. I set the buttons and it says 350 and the gas thing does all of and I'm like, all right, I put it in there and we've been having problems with stuff getting done. We're taking forever to cook. And we started changing the temperature on. Like, well, let's make it warmer. And when we changed the temperature, it was like, oh, it's only 240 degrees in here. Well, crap. So we go through all stuff. So finally we're like, screw it. And we got the dual ovens. And we're like, we don't want that. We want one oven. I found one that has an air fryer built into it, so we can do air frying in the oven. Really cool. I try to log online to do it. I find the one I want. I click it. I can't get it because there's other things that are in the background of that one. But I go to the store because I found it online, and tells me I can get it, and it will be delivered to my house. So I go there, and the little girl that's at Lowe's says, well, no, we don't have that. I can't get it till February. It's like, well, the sale ends tomorrow. Can I just buy it now? And if you can't deliver till February, then I don't get it till February. So you can't do that. You can't do that at all. I'm like, all right, I'd like to do that. So you can't do that. But here's this other item that you can buy, and it's like $200 more. Mm-hmm. And I looked her dead in the eyes and said, That is literally the definition of bait and switch.
Yep.
She's like, oh, it's just global. I'm like, oh, I get there's delays, and I'm okay with the delays, but you're telling me I can buy this online. I come here to the store to buy it, and now you're telling me I can't buy it, but I can buy this one that's more expensive. That is absolutely the definition of bait and switch. She's like, well, what are you going to do? I'm like, I'm going to go buy my stove from somebody else. So well, go ahead. I was like, all right, ma'am, I'm going to do that. But I'm going to tell you, you can only do that so many times before you lose your job and they start closing stores. Because there are more people like me than what you think. And when you start playing these types of games with us, we'll take our money and we'll go somewhere else.
You're absolutely right. Look. So
and that's from the Underdog Journey. So don't be assholes.
So Dave had a great comment, or Jeff had a great comment here that said, "You're only as good as those who work for you," and that is actually where I think we should leave it off, because that's 100% true, and that is 100% true. Everybody who has a business or works for a business or has a team at a business needs to take that to heart. You're only as good as those who work for you, and take that in 2022. Customer service is a lost art, and those who can bring it back will win.
You know what? I've got another business idea. West and I will talk about it. We'll see you guys next week.
Ooh, cliffhanger. Cliffhanger. All right.
No.
In the meantime, I've been West. This guy's been David, and we've been the Underdog Journey. We will see you next time.
the neighborhood. I felt full cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood. Funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt full cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood. Funkin'